Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm playing Nemesis. And different to my other games, or to the games that I usually play, this one is actually a really new game. I backed it on Kickstarter, and it just arrived a few days ago by Awaken Realms. As you can see, the box is sadly a little bit damaged. That already was the case when I opened it up. The game designer is Adam Kwapinski, I think he's Polish. And yeah, the game is settled in an environment similar to the environment of the Alien movies. So you got this intruder here, very strong intruder, and then you got your crew members on a big ship trying to survive somehow. Now you can play this game in different modes. The main idea is that this is a semi-cooperative game. So that means every player has a secret agenda, and they try to fulfill this agenda, and then each player at the end of the game who managed to survive and fulfill its agenda is the winner of the game. So very often players want to keep the ship going, you know, they want to maintain the hull integrity, and maybe they want to go to Earth all together. But there might always be a guy or maybe two guys who don't care about the ship at all. You know, they just want to go into an escape pod and, I don't know, blow the ship into pieces or something like that. So you never know exactly who to trust and who is actually really on your side and part of the team. If you don't like these kind of games, you can also play it in a full cooperative mode. And that makes possibly the most sense if you play it solitaire. And that is the way I'm going to play it now. It makes definitely more sense than the hidden agenda mode, I guess. Although that can be fun if you do it, you know, if you play every player on his own, kind of. And well, then you get some objectives, and you just try to fulfill them and to survive. You can also play it completely solitaire. There is also a complete solitaire mode for the game. And in the end, there is also a fun option if you play that with more than one people. Then the first person dying, because there is actually player elimination in this game, the first person dead can take over the role of the intruder and can play then the alien side, which is definitely funny. I haven't played it yet that way. I don't know how it works, if it's a good idea, but I think it's at least an interesting concept. So, but this is not something you have to do. You can also simply say, okay, people that are killed are out of the game, and we continue the game following the standard rules. So it's just an additional optional feature. So for now, I only received the core game. There will be a wave 2. The stretch goals give you one additional alien race, which plays different in some way. Then there was an add-on with a second additional alien race. That's definitely cool. There is also an expansion which is called the Aftermath expansion, which basically shows, which takes place after a game of the base game. So a new crew arrives with its own ship next to the ship, and they dock and they enter the ship. You got new characters there, and I'm not sure what exactly happens, where the difference is, if there is another setup, if there are more aliens already on the ship, or if you have other goals or whatever. I don't know that. We're going to see that then. But at least we can await a lot of replayability, I guess. Replayability, the game comes also with a double-sided board. So that's also a very neat feature. So you have basically two different spaceships with different shapes where you can play. And I like that idea a lot. We have, in addition to that, this one here. That is a comic book, 80 pages, and it is actually a campaign book. So the campaign is, we got different missions here, and I think there are also different events. So I think you can play these. It's a little bit like Choose Your Own Adventure or something, maybe. I'm not sure about this, but I think you definitely can play this more than once, and you will see new features when you play these things. But I haven't played the campaign. I cannot say if that is cool or not. You don't have to play the campaign. You can play a standalone game perfectly fine. But I think it's a nice additional feature. And this comes also with this sheet here. These seem to be all components of this campaign game. So I think we can be also curious what that gives us. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to show you, and now we're going to set up the game. So the setup is complete. Let me show you what we got. We have the board. We get a little bit later into this. A bunch of tokens here, noise tokens. These are basically ammunition markers. These are also tokens used for different things. The green tokens are my come not with the game. I use them as slime markers because they're green, you know, and usually would use this thing to indicate that. These are remaining, I don't know, kind of tokens that are in the room, and then if you search a room or if you discover a room, you flip these guys, so maybe they're called discovery tokens or whatever. These are fire markers, and these are mechanical failure markers or malfunction markers. I think that's what they're called. And it's a shame these things are made of plastic. You know, they're so tempting. I mean, if you see them, you might, yeah, hopefully they are metal. Well, sadly they're not, but they're kind of neat anyway. Now these are markers for the aliens. Here we have different items. We have here Intruder attack, serious wound, and an event deck. This is the so-called Intruder bag, and some of these tokens are inside here, and it is prepared following the rules. Got some basic stuff in there, and then according to the number of players, you throw a few additional tokens in. This is the Intruder board. We have 5x here in the nest, and here we have 3 randomly taken Intruder weaknesses card, and I don't know what these are. Okay, you can see that I haven't picked my guys yet. In the standard game, so not in the co-op game, but in the standard game, the picking of the characters works in the following way. First, what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw your objectives, 2 of them, and then there is some kind of character draft. You're allowed to draw the top 2 character cards, and you kind of then you're allowed to pick one and you take obviously the one which seems to fit the most to your objective. So I guess I kind of want to do it a little bit like this here too, because I couldn't find a rule for the co-op situation here. The co-op game and the solitaire game, there's not too much special stuff written in there. So maybe here and then we might have to improvise or something, I don't know. So we have here the objectives. Just, I think I shuffled them. I just want to do it once again. Okay, and so we're going to draw 3 of these. I'm going to play a 3-player co-op game. For each player, you draw 1 objective. But from what I understand, it's not the objective of the player, but it is the it is basically an objective that everyone can fulfill. So you got these 3 objectives. All of them have to be fulfilled, and at least one of the players has to survive. And if that's the case, we win the game. So let's see. The first thing is the special delivery. Finish the game in escape pod or hibernation with an intruder egg object. I know a guy in New Tokyo who keeps buying all this weird shit from Deep Space Cruise. Okay. The second one is then cutting off the head. Okay. Send the signal and the queen must have been killed, or send the signal and the ship must have been destroyed. In a no-win situation, at least you can do is to go out with a bang. Okay, so that's not too bad. We might combine these 2 things, you know. We can go in an escape pod. We can finish this in an escape pod and destroy the ship. Let's see what we have at the first one or at the last one. The first contact protocol. At least 2 intruder weaknesses must be discovered. 11.8b. Involved parties are not allowed to break contact until enough operable knowledge is gathered. Fine. Okay, so maybe the plan is, depending on the status of the engines, and we'll get to this a little later, well, I might actually explain that right now. Why not? So usually what, if you want to survive, what you got to do is you got to end up here in the hibernation chamber. That is here in the center of the board. And you got to, you not only have to be in this room, but you also have to enter one of these chambers, which isn't too hard, usually. And you can only do this from that time on. And if you not make it in there to that point here, then the ship will automatically accelerate and the G-forces will kill you. In addition to this, you got to make sure that the engines work. Now the engines are back here. We got 3 engines and 3 engine rooms. And I don't know if they work or not because I shuffled them. Each engine comes with 2 tokens. And one of them shows damaged, the other one shows working. And the token on top is the one that is that shows the actual status of the engine. So first, if you want to make sure this works, well, let me explain. If the ship starts, or if the ship goes into hyperspace, at least 2 engines have to work. Otherwise, the ship will explode. So to make sure that this is going well, you can go back here and check the engine. There's also sometimes an engine control room here, not all the time. So you go back here and check the engines, and if one of them isn't working, you can repair it. But of course you don't have to tell the other people the truth about that in the normal game, which is kind of fun, you know. You could kind of you could break the engine and say the others, yeah, we're good, you know, and then jump in an escape pod and try to to get away. The final point is, so you want to lay in here, you want to have a working engine, and then up here is the cockpit. And you can see here, these are the coordinates where the ship goes. So basically these coordinates, the card shows from A to D, we have 4 destinations, 4 possible destinations, and the card shows which destination is which letter. So at the moment it is on the letter B, and we don't know which destination that is. But we can go there, check the coordinates, and then we'll know where we're going. And usually in a standard game with a standard goal, you want to go to Earth. So let me say it that way. The default way to survive this, if there are no special missions involved and stuff, is going to Earth, nation chamber, and having at least 2 working engines. And there are a few other things which can destroy the ship, you know, like fires or tons of malfunctions and stuff like that. But this is the basic idea. However, here it seems we have the option to get in an escape pod, which are these here, and there are 2 more over there. And it also depends on the number of players, how many escape pods there are. In a 3-player game, you have 3 escape pods. And yeah, it seems we can go into one of these escape pods and then simply destroy the ship, and we should be fine. So maybe that is what we want to do. But of course, first we have to find the egg. We have to send a signal, which can be only done from a specific room, from the comms room. And we have to find 2 intruder weaknesses, which are these. And we got to go into the laboratory, I think, and we have to fiddle around either with a character corpse, an intruder egg, or an intruder carcass to find then the weakness. But we get into this all more in detail. These are our goals. Now let's see. I'm going to start my character draft now. So the first guy is this one, and he draws the first top cards, the first 2 cards. So let's see what we get. A soldier, which is always good, I think, and a scout. Well, I think I want to go with the soldier, actually. I'm not sure. I haven't played this game. I just played it a few turns, and that's pretty much all I did. So I don't know much about the game at all. I played 3 or 4 turns. But I'm considering taking the soldier because if we want to find an intruder weakness, maybe it's a good idea if we can kill one of these guys. Well, I don't know. I think I want to take the soldier. Or not. Okay. So this is my first player. And we're going to remove that card. And the other card goes now back into the character draft deck, which we're going to shuffle again. Well, shuffling these 5 somehow seems weird. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a die here and choose between the 2 then. So this is the second one, which is this one here. And then this is the third one. Okay, so it's these 2 cards now. So we can pick the scientist or the captain. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for the scientist again because of this intruder weakness thing. So yeah, I want to take that guy. So the captain goes back, and we're going to roll again. Okay, that is again the captain or the mechanic. That's kind of interesting. Not sure. Captain or the mechanic? Well, I think I'm going to pick the captain here. The mechanic, I don't know. I think it's not that important for me, for example, that the engines are working. Might not be bad to have the mechanic, but for some reason I kind of prefer the captain. Okay. Now they came up with a pretty cool idea. They show the miniatures on the character board. And I'm really thankful that they did that, because in some games, I mean, it's not that bad in this one, but in some games, when I'm thinking about, for example, the early games of Flying Frog, Last Night on Earth, Touch of Evil, you know, the miniatures look all very similar, and it's so hard to find the right one. And so I'm really glad that this is a cool idea. I'm glad they did that here. Okay, just want to show you the miniatures a little. The soldier here. Now this is his miniature, and I must say I think they are absolutely great. Fantastic quality. And you know, it's interesting how the miniature quality developed during the last years. Yeah, I mean, most of the games come with a really good quality these days. You could choose here between 3 versions of the game. You could either take completely gray miniatures, or a Sundrop painted version, or a fully painted version. Now I've chosen the Sundrop version, which means that well, you have some kind of wash or something going on here, so you can see the details better, and there is also the contrast. You could see these better, and I kind of like that. However, I think I'm gonna paint the heroes. The aliens look pretty awesome, and well, you're gonna see them soon enough, I guess. So we start here in the hibernation chamber, and by the way, we gotta place another marker in there. Let me see. Yeah, we got this guy here, a dead body. I don't really recognize a lot. I mean, I can see the legs, but then becomes kind of a mess. It's weird. Okay, so that body is lying here in the hibernation chamber, and we can take that guy to the laboratory actually to find one of the intruder weaknesses, the one that is hidden here in the character corpse. So we don't need a dead character to find all the 3 intruder weaknesses. Now we come to the scientist, and it's this guy here. That is our scientist, also pretty cool. In the wheelchair here, and he's have some kind of monitor or terminal here, right in front of him. So pretty awesome. And finally we have here the captain. Some weird, I don't know, some weird gear. He's wearing some weird stuff. Yeah, with these extra arms or whatever that is. You can see that also a little bit here. I mean, the artwork is also great in this game. Yeah, okay, and so we all start in here. And now I'm going to prepare the characters. Okay, so players are also ready now, the characters. And first of all, each character has its own deck of cards, action cards, 10 of them. Some of them are equal, they are shared by everyone, but some are special actions only this character can do. Each character has a specific starting item. I think it's probably usually a weapon. This guy has an assault rifle, saying each time you deal at least one injury, deal one additional injury. And I see now we got here ammunition 5. So what, we gotta grab 5 of these, place them here next to the weapon. Okay, there we go. And these here are some kind of mini quests. So we can unlock or activate these items. This one simply by going to the armory room and spending an action. Then we get this auto loader. And that one, if we discard tools or duct tape and spend an action, that's what this one indicates, then we can get the armor. The scientist, he starts with a pistol with 3 ammo. I find it a little strange that the pistol is an energy weapon. Okay. It looks like a standard pistol, right? But maybe it's some kind of, well, it's obviously some kind of energy pistol. Rolls of, well, 2 successes are treated as a single success. So that ain't that great. You can get a holo computer by activating it in the generator room, or laboratory equipment if he discards chemicals. And then we got the captain here. And he's got the 6-shooter with obviously 6 ammunition. Can only be reloaded with the reload action card. When you roll 2 successes, you deal 1 additional injury. That's kind of neat. He can get the lock key in the comms room. And he can get an intercom, discard tools or duct tape to activate this item. Okay, we've already taken a short look at the ship. Cockpit, hibernation chamber and engines, and here the escape pods. We have these rooms here, all these, and they are connected by corridors. And here in the center you can see these rooms with the lights in them. They are always placed at the center, so it's not a completely random setup. The cool thing is we've got 10 of these room tiles with the lights, but only 5 of them are used each game. So we don't really know what's in the ship and what not. But the necessary rooms for the quests and the objectives, and so they are always on the ship. These are the outer rooms without the lights. We have also so-called technical corridors. These are these red dots. So you could, for example, leave this room here, and then you can see, maybe you can see that here's a little bit of a corridor, you know, and same here, there is some structure underneath there. And these are technical corridors. And some specific, I think maybe probably some cards, maybe some items, they allow you to use the corridors. So usually you can't do it, but basically these rooms with the corridors, they're all connected. So if you have this special option, you can use these corridors and move from one room to another. But from what I understand, also the aliens can do that under specific circumstances. But we get into this later. So, I mean, you know, I'm not here to explain this all perfectly. I'm just trying to give you an impression. As I said, I've played that game once. I've read the rules, and now we're going to try to fiddle through this and to explore the game a little bit. Okay, so I guess we're ready to start. And this is our first player. We have here the help card, this one here, which gives you a little bit, shows you the sequence of play. And we can perform actions. We can perform 2 actions. We don't have to do that. We can also pass. If we pass, we flip the card to indicate that we passed, but then we cannot do any more actions during this player phase. When all players have passed, we come to the event phase, and that's then also when the aliens act. We can also do only one action, but if we do only one action, we also have to pass then. So if we want to continue playing, we have to do 2 actions, then the next player, and so on. There are 2 different types of actions. We have the basic actions, and they are shown here. This is movement, shoot, melee attack, pick up heavy object, trade, craft item, or careful movement. These are the basic actions. To do these, you gotta pay with your cards. So these actions here cost you 1 card, and the careful movement costs you 2 cards. In addition to these, we have we can play the cards, and they give us additional actions. And some of them might also cost additional cards. So this search card, for example, doesn't cost an additional card. So you simply play the card, and then you can do the action. There might be some cards, and I'm not sure if that's the case here. Oh, probably not. No, I don't think so. No. So, but if there would be written here a 1, for example, let me find that somewhere else. I think there are not too many, just the really... No. No, not in that case. But if there would be a 1 here, then we had to discard, for example, that card, and then one of the other cards of our hands. Okay, so in this room we cannot do a lot. We could trade between the players our items. That would be possible. Yeah, fighting doesn't make any sense right now. By the way, you're not allowed to attack the other players, even not in the not total co-op game. You're not allowed to attack other players. There is no heavy object to pick up. Crafting items we might see later. So I guess we want to move. You're not allowed to search this room. Never. You can never search this hibernation chamber. That's a special rule here. And I think that also applies to the other starting rooms. You can only search these hexagons. So I guess I want to move, and okay. So before we first, let's check what the goals are. Well, we want to find an egg. To find an egg, I think we must find the nest. So then we got first contact protocol, 2 intruder weaknesses. So we want to find the laboratory. And finally here, the signal and the ship must have been destroyed. So we want to find the comms room and the room that allows us to start the self-destruct sequence. So we definitely have to simply explore the room, the ship right now. So I'm going to play a card here. And it doesn't matter which one, we simply discard a card here. This is our discard pile. And then we start moving with the soldier, and we move back here, down here. Okay, and well, one movement simply allows you to move from one room to the other room. These are just connections, the corridors. You never stay in the corridors, and also the aliens don't. So you never, it's never possible that a miniature is in one of these corridors. You will always be in the rooms. So we enter that room, and what we do is, and by the way, these were also placed randomly on the rooms. So we start flipping this room here, and that is the monitoring room. Check one room, an exploration token. Okay, so as an action in this room here, in the monitoring room, we could discard 2 cards, and then we could check a room and the exploration token on that room. So we can basically flip it, I guess. Let's have a closer look here. But I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. Secretly look at any one unexplored room tile. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Then we flip this token here, and you can see here on top it's a 1, and then there's this X. So the X means basically that nothing happens in this room, which is good. The 1 means that there is one item that we can find in the room. Now if you see here, you can see the numbers from 0 to 4. And these numbers indicate how many items can be found in this room if we search that. And there is this red arrow here. So what we do is we place the 1 here, matching with the red arrow, and then this guy sits there, and we simply discard that token. And that's basically it. So that was the action. We discover that room, and actually it's not it at all. Now we got to do a noise roll. Every time when you enter an empty room, a room where there is no other miniature, you have to do a so-called noise roll. So we're going to roll these dice here, or that die, and see what happens. Okay, that shows now 2, and that means we're going to place one of these noise tokens in corridor number 2. So that room has basically 4 exits. One of them is a technical corridor. In this case, we're going to place it here in corridor number 2. So basically what that means is we hear strange noises out of this corridor. Okay, something creepy, and we don't know what it is, you know. Could be some kind of noises from the ship, maybe, I don't know, some rats or whatever, or some machinery or anything, but it could also be some intruder. And that's the thing. And if we enter this room now again, or if we have to do another noise roll, and we had to place a token where there already is a noise token, then what happens instead is that all the noise tokens will be removed and an intruder will show up. And that is the reason why it's kind of risky to move together, because that makes it much more likely that we will find intruders. If you do the careful movement, you can spend 2 cards instead of 1. And then you can also enter that room, and you don't have to make a noise roll, but you can choose where to place the noise token. So there's only, for example, 1 corridor left where you can place that thing. It might be a good idea to move in carefully, because then you have much better odds not to wake up anything. Okay, then it's the scientist, and I guess we also want to move with this guy. Okay, let's see. Okay. I think I'm going to discard this one. And we're going to move down here and explore this room. Okay, so we find here the hatch control system. So we could lock or unlock 1 escape pod. Now that is kind of cool, because we got to enter escape pods. So spending 2 cards allows us to lock or unlock escape pods. We have 2 items in there, and by the way, I forgot to do a second action with this guy, and I got to do that. So 2 items. So we're going to place this like that, and this indicates that a door closes behind us. So we gotta find a door marker and place it here. Okay, now these are the doors, and that means that the way back is blocked. And there are ways to open doors, but you need some kind of special cards or tools to do that. And I forgot to do a second action with the scientist, with the soldier, and I want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I want to play a search action, reduce item counter by 1, draw 2 item cards of the same color as the room you are in. Pick 1 and discard the other. Okay, so this card goes away, and then you can see here we are in a room that is red. So we're going to draw 2 cards from the weapons stack here. And we find an energy charge. And another energy charge. Okay, that makes it easy. We're going to simply take one of these. And well, it's not that bad, because it allows us to reload our assault rifle. Now, usually in the multiplayer game, what you do is you're gonna... These cards now go into your inventory, and we have some kind of... Yeah, we have these things. So you can place your cards there, and Nobody else can then see them. So that's kind of neat. However, if I play solo, I find it easier to do it like this, and there is no reason to hide my cards. The inventory is of an unlimited size, so I can place a ton of stuff in here. However, these items here with this handle symbol, these are so-called heavy items. And I can only carry one of these items in each hand. There are also heavy objects, like for example a dead body or an intruder carcass. And I can also, these objects also need one free hand. So right now I have one free hand, but I can take, as I said, a ton of stuff in my inventory. Inventory, damn it. Okay, so I'm done with the soldier, and now back to the scientist, and we still got to do a noise roll, because we entered this empty room there. Okay, that's a 3. So we're going to place a marker here at number 3, so that's the corridor where we came from. Okay. And it's important to remember that if you roll here, it's not these numbers here that count. These numbers indicate the numbers of tokens of items that are in the room, but it's these black or these white numbers here on the black ground in the corridors themselves that indicate where to place the noise token. And by the way, after searching, you got to rotate this room so that it indicates that there is now one less object available in this room. So this room is empty now and we cannot search it anymore. And now we can do a second action with the scientist. And you know, I feel like I also want to search. So same thing, and yeah, take a look at that, and I find that fantastic. These are actually both search cards, but they come with a different artwork. So that is really cool. It's not the same each time. And yeah, same card basically. So what we do is we reduce the number of the available items, and of course this time we have to make sure that the door remains in place. And then we are allowed to pick 2 cards, and because this is a white room, that was a red room, okay? That is a white room, and we have here a blue, a green, a yellow, and a red deck. And the white room allows us to pick from one of these 3 decks here. The blue deck is a deck of crafted items. So we can use some items to combine them with a craft item action, and then we get one of these 4 items: the antidote, the taser, the flamethrower, or the Molotov cocktail. For example, we could use this thing here that, well, it's hard to see, it's kind of this electric, yeah, it has this electric symbol here, you can see. So we could, if we find something like this, we could build a taser out of this thing. So we can now choose, the scientist can choose, and basically we're looking for chemicals so that we could activate the laboratory equipment. That would be kind of cool. But on the other hand, we only have a very bad weapon. So I think first I want to find a better weapon. So I'm going to check. I'm going to draw 2 cards here. Maybe I can find a better weapon. Well, these are 2 grenades. We can keep one of them. So yeah, we're going to keep 1 grenade. And it's not exactly fantastic. It's just a one-time item or a one-shot item, obviously. But it's not that bad. And that also goes in the inventory. The captain wants to find the comms room. So I think I'm also going to play a card. And simply explore the rooms. So we're going to move here. And okay, that is the cabins. Catch your breath. When your character is in a room at the start of a turn and there are no intruders there, draw 1 additional action card. The passive feature of this room does not work if there's a malfunction token in this room. Okay, sadly, that is exactly the case. You can see here, there is a malfunction token in this room. So we got to place one of these markers. And it also said 2. So there are 2 items in this room. I'm going to place it like this. The malfunction token goes in this room. And there we go. These malfunction tokens, yeah, they basically don't allow you to use the special features of the rooms. And the problem is there are 8 of those, and if all 8 of them are on the board, the hull integrity will fail and the ship will be destroyed. So we got to be careful about these, and there is a way to repair them if you have the right cards. So we got to do a noise roll here again, and that is a 3. So we got to place a noise marker in this area here. And that's also kind of cool because we probably don't want to go that way now. You know, we know how we hear noises from there, so I don't know if I should go there, because if I go here, it's much more riskier that there is only a 2 in 3 chance that we will be safe. Yeah, there's a bigger risk if we follow the noise that we might find an intruder. And I think this is a fantastic mechanic. You know, if you follow these noises, you might find the intruders easier. I think that's fantastic. It just fits the theme perfectly, you know, going slowly through the ship, hoping to avoid anything, and yeah, you hear these spooky noises everywhere. It's a great idea. It really is. So the captain doesn't have a search card, so he cannot search. You can only search a room if you have. It's not of your basic actions, so you can only search it if you have a search card. So what I will do is, yeah, I guess I will simply continue moving, play another card, and go to another room. So yeah, I think I'm going to move in here. Flip this room. Okay, that is the canteen. Have a snack. Don't know what that means. We're going to see. And that isn't good. That's we find 3 items there, or we can find 3 items there. So we're going to place it like this. But the symbol underneath means danger. And that's a bad thing, because we do not make a noise roll here, but instead we place a noise marker in every single corridor adjacent to that room. So basically, if you enter this room now, you will definitely find an intruder. I just checked the canteen. We could heal a light wound there, but for now we're good. Okay, and then we continue with Soldier. And oh, we got another search card here, which is kind of cool. So I think I'm going to continue my way. Yeah. I mean, I could risk to move down here. Maybe I want to go here first and then move like this. That's also an option. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to go here into that room. And let me see which one I want to discard. I think I want to discard that one. And I'm going to enter this room. Okay. And that is the emergency room. Treat your wounds. Okay, so one item, and sadly there's also a malfunction token there. And as a second action, I'm going to search the room. But before we can do that, we got to make a noise roll, of course. And that's a 2. So that means we have a noise marker here, which sucks. Well, actually, it's not that bad. If I want to go down anyway, I think it's okay if it's in this area here. And then I wanted to search the room. So if we're finding the last item in here, no more items there. We got to search now, and we can draw 2 of these green items. Okay, we got some alcohol and bandages. Okay, we could dress 1 serious wound or heal all light wounds. And that says scan and remove 1 contamination card from your hand. If it was infected, take 1 contamination card. Oh boy, hard to tell. I think I want to take the bandages. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's hard to tell actually. Well, not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna take the bandages, I guess. Okay. So, and yeah, that's then the end of his move, and we come to the next guy here. I think I also want to move with this guy. Go right here. Explore this room. And that is the comms room, and that's pretty cool because this is definitely one of the rooms we're looking for. And fuck, it's malfunctioning. Yeah, that sucks. That is not good. So, and we have, I think it's a 1, yeah. There's also only 1 item in there, and the room is malfunctioning. Bad luck here. And as you can see, there's also this little computer in this room, this computer symbol. And I got a few cards, the risk assessment and blocking access. Using a room with a computer to use this room's action without paying its cost. Or here, using a room with a computer, look at the top card from the event deck, then return it to either the top or the bottom of the deck. So that would have been something that I wanted to try. But if the room is malfunctioning, I cannot use the computer either. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I don't know what to do here. I might continue movement, but first I have to do a noise roll, of course. So that is a 1, so that means, and that's kind of cool, we were lucky here. It's this corridor, so I could now actually move down here. No, I can't because there's no connection here. Yay, okay, so might go to the cockpit instead. But why would I want to do that? Okay, actually, I don't think I want to go... I don't really know what to do. I think I'm going to pass... Shit. Yeah. Well, I don't really know if I want to go in here. I could go in here with a careful movement, you know, and then place a token here. And then no one would show up for now. But then I'm without cards, and there is a risk to do that, and you will see later why, maybe. And so I think I don't want to do that. On the other hand, I'm also not sure if I want to go here. I mean, I could go there. Maybe, yeah, maybe that is actually what I want to do. Hard to tell. I mean, that's also where the captain is. Shit. Well, it might not be the best idea, but I think I'm gonna pass. I don't know what else to do. Moving in the cockpit is probably also not such a great idea because the captain is gonna in this direction too. So if we hang out there together, we're making a lot of noise. Going back might be the plan, but yeah. But then I'm without cards, which is a risk. So I think I want to stay there, and maybe I find some repair card or so in the next turn, or I can search the room again or so. How much I had 1 search card. So yeah, maybe I can search the room a second time. Yeah. So actually the captain also wants to come into the comms room anyway. So maybe I should actually move to the cockpit and then go in this direction, because the captain's got to go down there to unlock the lock key. So yeah, I think that makes sense. So I'm going to place... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to discard that card. And I'm going to move in here. However, I'm going to discard both cards. So I can move in there carefully, because then I can choose where to place my noise token. Otherwise, if it ends up here, the captain would be kind of trapped here, because if he enters this room, there will be an automatic contact. So, and I also don't want to make it hard for the captain and place a noise token here, because then he cannot enter this room. Well, he could actually. He could. There are still these technical corridors. Still, I think I want to place it here. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm sitting here then, so I don't have to make a noise roll because I did this careful movement action. I placed the noise token, and now I'm out of cards. And as I said, I was afraid that would be dangerous, but I think it's basically only dangerous if you are in a room where there's a lot of danger that you can be found. And the captain... Nah. Well, if the captain goes here, we might end up with a noise token here. Holy shit. Yeah, that's... I don't know if he's... Well, he's got 3 cards left. Why does he have so many cards left? That's odd. I find that strange. Did I do only one action with him? If I did, that would suck. But okay, I'm gonna simply continue. Whatever, I might have made a mistake there. Strange. I don't know why he has. On the other hand, why does he... because he discarded 2 cards for movement. Yeah, that makes sense. He has 1 card left, he discarded 2 cards for movement, and that's why he has no cards left. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I guess I'm fine. Yeah, so the captain... Well... Yeah, he's in trouble there because there was danger in this room. So what is he gonna do? Well, as I said, he wanted to move to the comms room. So I think what I'm going to do is actually... yeah, hard to tell. I think I'm going to move carefully. I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm in a difficult situation here because, well, if I go here, there's a 50-50% chance that I will find an intruder. And I also make life hard for this guy because there is also this corridor here and there's this connection there. And after the player turn, and we're going to pass now. We're probably all going to pass after his action. That means that then we got to make... There's a good chance that we'll have to make a noise check. That everybody has to make a noise check because there is some kind of intruder activity going on then. Not necessarily, but there's a good chance that this might happen. So, and then we might find intruders in these rooms anyway. So my idea is now that I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to go into this hatch control room and I'm only going to spend a single card and don't move carefully. I could avoid movement or I could avoid risk. I could avoid the contact by moving very carefully. But the question is that really what I want to do? Because if I place a marker here then, and I still have, and then I have to roll during this intruder phase, if they show up, it will show up anyway. So, and then I have 1 less card in my hands, which makes it more dangerous. So I think I'm gonna move in there. I keep 2 cards in my hand, and I'm gonna simply roll a die, and I can go. My idea is now to move from here straight into the comm room. This is a little shorter than I cannot explore this room then. That kind of sucks. But as I said, I don't want to bring this guy into too much danger here. So we're going to roll a die. And that's a 2, and that sucks because that means now here that kind of an intruder followed us, and now we have to face this guy. So what happens is we remove the noise tokens from all corridors adjacent to that room. They go back into the box, and well, then what happens is simply, I think I simply draw one of these guys from the intruder bag, and we see what happens. Okay, that is an adult. That's not great news. Okay, that's placed then here, and we're simply going to take a miniature and place it there. And what's important is now we're going to keep this marker for now, just a second. So I just want to show you the miniature, and I think it's really spectacular, you know. And also the sun drop worked really well here. I think it's not necessary to improve that somehow. There is even some blood here, you can see that. So that is really well done, I think. And another cool feature of the game is that there are actually, I think there are 4 different models for the adults. So that's kind of neat. So we're going to place that sucker in here, right there. And that ain't a good news. So what we do now is we're going to check the back of this, and it says 4. And that sucks, because 4 means if we had 4 or less cards in our hand, the guy would not attack us. He could not surprise us. We would be prepared. But 4 is a pretty high number. So yeah, no chance here. We will be attacked by this guy. Okay, so let's take a look at the intruder attack here. It's pretty simple. All we do is basically we simply draw a card. Intruder attack card. Flip it. And you can see here a bite. And these are the ones that activate these 3 types. And sadly, the adult is part of that. So the guy bites us, which isn't good at all. If the character has 2 serious wounds, they die. If not, they suffer 1 serious wound. Okay, so that's what happens. So we got to draw a serious wound card. And that means now that our arm is wounded. The character has only 1 hand slot for heavy items or object. If they have 2 heavy items, they must instantly drop 1. That's bad news for the captain. Yeah, okay, so he's going to keep that one. And he's definitely in trouble, because this sucker will attack again during the event phase. So, but he might consider running away. He still has 2 action cards left. So, maybe he should try to run away. Hard to tell. So yeah, I got 1 action left, and I think I want to try to escape. And, yeah. I think I want to go here. I want to go to the comms room, because then I can get my lock key. So we gotta play. We gotta play a card. So we're gonna play that card. And run into this room here. But we gotta draw another intruder attack card. So let's see what we get. Oh fuck it, that's another bite. Holy shit, that's a bad thing. The character has 2 serious wounds, they die. If not, they suffer 1 serious wound. Okay, so we're in trouble now. We have a 2nd serious wound. That's really bad. Back here is the emergency room. So maybe we can get there somehow. Leg, from now on the cost of your escape movement action is 2. Okay. Bad news here. This is not looking good at all. I'm considering... Yeah, I'm not sure if I should... Well, I'm done for now anyway, so I cannot move any further here. This is the end of my action. And I gotta do a noise roll, of course, because I entered an empty room. So that is an X. That means no sounds whatsoever. That's a good thing because we are quite a bit in trouble here. So let's see. What was it I wanted to check? I've got. Okay, the soldier is passing. The scientist already passed. And I'm not sure if I should run away, if I should move away somewhere else. I wonder if I can activate the lock key now in the comms room, or if I need to repair the room. Okay, actually I'm pretty sure that I can use, I can activate that thing, even though the room is malfunctioning. I think that's not a problem. I cannot use the computer, and I cannot send the signal, but I can activate the lock key. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend my last card. Activate the lock key. Let's see what that does. Use in a room with a computer. Look at the objective card of a chosen player. Oh, fuck it, man. That is a stupid card. You know, I really wonder if that makes sense. I mean, maybe I should have known that before. I think I'm not gonna, yeah, fuck, I'm not gonna do that, you know, I mean, this is bullshit. And if I have known that, but okay, it's too late now for that. That was pretty stupid, actually. Maybe I should check what that is before I actually do it. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, that wasn't too great. Okay, so instead what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do another movement action, get away from the alien, and I'm going to move in here, hoping not to attract another guy. So I got to make a roll. And that is a 2, so we're going to place a noise token right here. But I'm in trouble anyway here. I'm not sure. Well, maybe if I move carefully, I could go into the canteen or something. But I don't know what to do at the moment, actually. I really have no idea. The captain is in some kind of trouble. Okay, I think it is fair that I've undone this action, because, you know, if I've known that, and I think it is not secret or something, you can check that. If I've known that, I obviously wouldn't have done that task. So I'm sitting there now with the other guy, and now we come to the I have no more cards, so I also have to pass. And we come now to the event phase. And what we're going to do is, let's have a look here. So first we're going to move the time track 1 space. Okay. Then we're going to do an intruder attack. So if this sucker would be with us now, we would have to draw another attack card. Fire damage, yeah, A fire marker would be with an intruder or with a guy who would take damage here. And then we got to resolve an event card. So we're going to draw the top event card here. And that doesn't sound good at all. That says life support failure. But before we do that, we're going to move the intruders. And these three guys will move, so the adult will move in the direction number 2. So that means the guy moves here. Okay. Fine. So I guess I'm going to go back then here in the next turn. Maybe I can explore these areas and make my way to the emergency room. Okay. So the life support failure. Place a malfunction marker in each green room. Remove this event from the game and reshuffle the event stack. Okay, including, yeah, this one goes away simply. And that's not a good thing either. For now we have 2 green rooms, so that's a problem. 3 more malfunction markers. And we're in a ton of trouble. And that can be quick. Well, there is already a malfunction marker in there. There cannot be a second marker, so it's not that bad. But yeah, obviously that sucks. Now the mechanic would have been useful to make some repairs, but he's not around. And the last thing that happens now is the intruder bag development. So we draw another one out of here. Gosh. Okay, now that is a small one, a larva. And they are not that super dangerous, actually. I think all that happens is that this larva will become an adult. Now let me see, we have that written here, and here a better player aid would be very helpful, because that is something you have to check again and again. So, yeah, that is a larva. No, it's a creeper, actually. That's a creeper. Remove this token from the intruder bag and add 1 breeder token to the intruder bag. Okay, so this is going away, and instead we see a breeder token. Okay, great. What are the breeder tokens? These suckers here, these are the breeders. And this goes now in the back. So basically, the more time passes by, the more these guys will evolve and transform, so the smaller ones that are not on the board yet become bigger in the back. So that's definitely a problem. But it's not, I'm not absolutely positive how well they shuffle in there. Okay, anyway, we're done with this turn. And I think it's the right time now to load this up. So we haven't seen too much action, but that is something I like about this game. It really brings back the atmosphere of this alien movie, right? I mean, at the beginning we're just exploring the ship, hearing strange noises, and sometimes you might not even encounter any alien in the first turn, but you will. Sooner or later you will. And this guy already is in a lot of trouble. Broken arm, broken leg. He's pretty much fucked up, and he needs to find a way to heal, but that's not going to be so easy, I'm afraid. Okay. So, yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.